Good morning, everybody. Rise and shine. Ready or not, let's do this. This is a ridiculously early morning webinar to start your day off right, whether you're ready for it or not. There's a little bit of mindset, a little bit of business sense, something to get your MLM, network marketing, small business brick and mortar, online and off, up and running like a well-oiled machine. Whether you are a newbie, a seasoned veteran, or somewhere in between, there's something here from you. There is something here for you. Welcome, good morning. My name is Mina, coming to you from New York City, out in the borough of Queens. I created this webinar to share with you my experiences and help you grow into success with me. So today is Wednesday, December 31st, 2014, the last day of the year. Tomorrow will be 2015. So up to this point, a lot of us have been working really hard, especially in the month of December, to get our businesses soaring into 2015. And for today's mindset moment, here is let me show you my favorite little mug. Now, I got this as a gift for the holidays from a dear friend. Her name is Diana, and I love it. Now it never leaves my spot. I should Instagram this little mug everywhere I go. But I have my regular, it's not a coffee beverage, it's just a good hot water with lemon to start off my day. So just to recap what we did yesterday, okay? We did a mindset moment yesterday about what is a coach. And a coach essentially is somebody who works alongside you. A coach can correct you without you feeling negative or feeling criticized. And a coach, one of the greatest gifts that a coach can give is perspective. So a coach will work alongside you and see and live how you live, think how you think, get your perspective, and over that, give his or her perspective and sees the big picture. And also the great thing that a coach has about perspective is not only they can see where you are right now, but they can see where you are going in the near future and work alongside you so that you can be the best that you can be. We all want to be coaches. And the important thing to be a coach is that you need to pour into yourself first. You need to pour into yourself motivation and self-development. And there's so many great resources out there, especially by John C. Maxwell, by Anthony Robbins, by Robert Kiyosaki. A lot of great people out there that you can find and use as mentors. Gary Vaynerchuk, people like that, business people that you can find those amazing resources, pour into yourself so that your cup is running over so that you can start pouring into others. So if you want to be a coach, you need to pour into yourself first so that you can be an effective coach and so that you can love people and you can work alongside them and guide them and lead them into success. That was what we talked about yesterday. And for the business sense moment, I showed you a great app called Buffer where you can schedule your tweets and schedule your Facebook posts and any other social media platform that you'd like to schedule posts for. Buffer app is a free app for only 2 platforms, but if you want to add more platforms, more social media platforms to schedule your posts, you need to upgrade to the awesome part of Buffer, which is not so much, it's like $10 a month. And that's you can wing that too. But anyways, for today, the last day of the year, for the mindset moment, I want to talk about writing letters of encouragement. Now, I don't mean like writing an email or a tweet or putting something on Instagram or even texting. That's our world today. Our world is all about technology. I'm talking about going a little bit back into yesteryear and being a little bit nostalgic and writing a handwritten letter of encouragement. Let me read to you these stats here. I was reading this last night and I thought it was amazing. It says here, 6 days a week, regular mail service is provided by the United States Postal Service, 6 days a week. And of course, I've seen now in the holidays, they amp up the days that they're sending mail and delivering mail because it's the holidays, right? Annually, postal workers handle 170 billion pieces of written mail. They say written mail. Written mail, okay. Yet, in this huge sea of mail, officials say Personal letters. Personal letters account for less than 4% of the total. 4% of the total of 170 billion pieces of mail that they handle annually. 4%. Handwritten mail, like, a little note of cards or things like that, handwritten. So on average, you will have to wade through 25 pieces of mail before you can put your hands on one that contains a personal word. So a personal word could be like a greeting card, handwritten, something, happy birthday, things like that, something very personal. Notes represent an investment by the writer. So when you write a note to somebody, it could be like a nice little note of encouragement or something to make their day. The very physical act of taking a pen and putting it to paper and writing some notes on a piece of paper and then giving it to that person, it denotes, it shows an act of, it represents an investment by the writer. So the writer is taking the time out of his or her day to sit down, take a piece of paper, maybe it could be a piece of stationery, or just rip out a piece of paper from a notebook and write down some words, some nice words of encouragement for another person, fold it up and hand it to that person. That is an investment in time. I remember earlier this year, one of our coaches suggested that we spend a month writing some thank you notes to people, like handwriting thank you notes to people, or just writing some words of encouragement to people, or just writing a note and just noting and pointing out their strong points or pointing out what you like about those people. So I did this. I didn't do it for the entire month, but I tried to do it for most of the month. And I thought about 7 people. Each time I did it, I would write 7 little notes. And I would just think what I really liked about that person. I would just write it down. And then on the day that I would see these people, I would hand them this little piece of paper. And it was a little piece of paper that was on like this, I bought like this huge pad of patterned paper. On one side it was patterned and pretty, and on the other side was blank. And I would give it to them. Where is that patterned paper? Let me get it. Here you go. Here's this patterned piece of paper. I would get this patterned piece of paper, and as you can see here, it's pretty in the front part, and in the back, it's blank, like that. So I'd write my note here. I would write my note, and it would be something that I really liked about that person, and I would fold it up into an envelope. I would make it look like an envelope, and then I would give it to that person on that day. And it was amazing to see their reactions, because first of all, they were surprised that they received a note from me. But then when they read it, I would see how happy they got, and also the impact it made on them, because these days we don't get the written word. We don't get like a little note saying here, hey, I think you're awesome. Things like that. Writing something, putting pen to paper and writing some really great words for a person and then handing it to that person represents an investment on your part. And it shows that you go the extra step to show that you care. So that is pretty cool. It says here that encouraging notes have a personal touch. The fact that you went as far to write it down, it shows that it's a personal touch. You're giving a personal touch to that letter. And written notes don't have to come from somebody famous to be encouraging. As long as it's written, it's from the heart, and you sincerely are putting those words to paper, people can sense that, and they treasure that. And a lot of people who receive handwritten notes, they keep it with them. They put it in their diary, or they keep it in their desk, or they carry it with them in their handbag. And it's something that holds meaning to them. Here's an example. There was this 19th century writer, Walt Whitman, who was trying to get people to notice his poetry, but nobody was paying attention to his poetry, and he would write in and day out his poetry, and it seemed like it was not making a dent in anyone. And then one day he received this letter, because he was at the point of discouragement. He was about to throw in the towel, and at the moment he was about to throw in the towel, he got this letter. He said, This is the letter that he got. It said, "Dear sir, I am not blind to the worth of the wonderful gift of leaves of grass. I am not blind to the worth of the wonderful gift of leaves of grass. I find it the most extraordinary piece of wit and wisdom that America has yet contributed. I greet you at the beginning of a great career." And this little note of encouragement was signed by Ralph Waldo Emerson. So imagine that. Walt Whitman receives this little handwritten note by Ralph Waldo Emerson, and it was like a breath of fresh air to him. And it was that encouragement that encouraged him to keep on writing. And I imagine that he held on to that note and he had it there with his journals, or he had it in his pocket, so that on days when he felt like not really doing anything, or he was just really discouraged, he would open that note and read it again. And that gave him that breath of fresh air to move forward. So these handwritten notes are like breaths of fresh air. These are little things that encourage you to move forward when the going is getting tough for you. It says here, notes are remembered long after the writer has forgotten about them. So you can write a little note to somebody and encourage them and give it to them. And long after you've forgotten about it, they will still remember, because it was something that made an impact on their lives, and they've kept that note with them. John Maxwell said this: "You can never tell when something you write to others will light them up in down times or sustain them when life gets difficult." Let me say that to you again. You can never tell when something you write to others will light them up in down times or sustain them when life gets difficult. When you write words of encouragement, when you write words that uplift and encourage and have people feel better about themselves when they don't feel so great about themselves. So here's a great example. In the first book, Chicken Soup for the Soul, a teacher by the name of Sister Helen Rosla, Mrosla. She spoke about an experience that she had with a group of students when she taught in junior high. She had a group of junior high school students, her math students, that one day were just really a little bit out of control, and they were just very ornery. And so she had them do this exercise. She had them write down a good quality, something that they liked about their classmates. So imagine a group of students, and you know all your friends in that class, and the teacher asks you, write down one word, one thing you like about every person in this room, your classmates. And so her students did that. And so she collected all that they did, and then she compiled them over the weekend. And on Monday, she handed each student a list, and this list contained quality that their classmates liked about them. So that was sent in. These were handwritten lists. Several years passed, and one of her students was killed in the Vietnam War. So she and all the other former students gathered for his funeral. And after the funeral, the father of that student, that former student who was killed, said to the group, "This is what they found on my son when he was killed." And what he produced was this piece of paper that had been folded and folded again and had been taped because it was tattered. And it was that very list that the teacher had handed to him years ago of the good qualities that each person liked about him. And one by one, the former students also pulled out their old lists. One student says, "My husband keeps it in our wedding album." And another former student said, "I keep this in my desk drawer." And another student says, "I carry this around with me in my handbag, in my pocketbook." So there you see the power of a written note of encouragement, or something that uplifts you. It really touches the soul, and it's something that people love to hold on to. These days, writing a personal letter is not very popular anymore because of technology, because people could send an email, they can send a text, they could write on social media. Sending a handwritten note of encouragement, of great words, it's an investment. But is a good investment because you're investing in other people. And if you want to start writing words of encouragement, you can start right now. If you don't know how to write words of encouragement, well, you can always Google how to do that. But if you're not ready to handwrite things yet, because you need to pour into yourself first, by all means do that as well. All right, let's see. So that is the power of a few kind words. So hear this one. When a word of encouragement is written down for another person, it is often perceived to be more genuine than when it is spoken. They've actually scientifically tested this. When a word of encouragement is written down with a pen, not with a smartphone. When it's written down on a piece of paper for another person, it's considered to be more genuine. The very fact that a person takes the time out to write a word of encouragement for somebody on a piece of paper, or even more, to find a pretty piece of paper to write words of encouragement down on, it's considered to be more genuine than when it's spoken. Now, some people think, oh yeah, I can speak words of encouragement, and that's not bad either, but when it's also written, that just gives you more brownie points. Just as more brownie points in the genuine area, being genuine. So when you do this, these words have the power to encourage long after the writer has written them. So you can speak words of encouragement verbally, and they can have their effect, and it could probably have an effect in time, but when it is written down and that person has a physical piece of that memory, of that experience, that lasts longer, and that is more genuine. So how can you do this? How can you start writing handwritten letters of encouragement? Well, the first thing you need to do is to forget about being perfect. We all want to be perfect. We want everything to fall into the right place, and it has to be perfect. And then you don't have to have fancy paper. It's a nice touch. You don't have to have fancy paper. You can use regular notebook paper. I'm sorry. Did I just blind you? Sorry. You can use regular notebook paper and a pen and write words of encouragement. You can find a quote that you like that's impacted you, and you can share that quote with somebody and give them a word of encouragement through that quote. That will go a long way with people, and it has. You don't have to be perfect. As long as what you're writing is coming from the heart, that is going to make its impact. The second thing you can do is ask yourself, what can I say that will be an encouragement now as well someday into the future? This is what John Maxwell teaches. Ask yourself, what can I say that will be an encouragement right now as well as into the future? That is a good question to ask yourself before you write down your words of encouragement. And the third thing that you can do here is to put aside an hour each day to write words of encouragement or write words of thanks. You don't even know how much of an impact that can make on people. Ray Higdon teaches to sit down and just write thank you letters to people. Just write thank you letters, and it could be just random stuff, and mail them to people. And when somebody receives a letter, a handwritten letter from you, they really do appreciate it. If somebody's not feeling well and you send them a get well card and it's handwritten, that really goes a long way. It shows, it just shows a lot to people that you care. And especially in this world, that there are days that are just extremely difficult, and we don't even know what other people are going through. If you send out a word of encouragement, a get well card, a nice letter on a piece of paper, that really can make a person's day when they can be at the point of throwing in the towel. So never underestimate the power of the written word. Okay, so now that was our mindset moment. I'm looking at my notes here. Now I'm going to show you, for the business sense moment, something really cool on the YouTube channel. And it's when you go on your channel and you have the page that shows who you are, what you're about. It could be your trailers and the videos that you've watched and the videos that you've uploaded. You can put little icons that when people click on, they can go to your blog, they can go to your Facebook page, they can even go to a capture page. And I'm going to show you that right now for today's business sense moment. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to go to, okay, before I share my screen. Those. Okay, let's go back to here. Okay, let's go. All right, so right now I'm going to share my screen and share. Perfect. I'm going to present to everybody. So right now we are on my YouTube channel. Here is my little avatar. Okay, and I'm going to go to my channel right up here to the left. As you can see here, I'm streaming live right now. Just check something here. I think somebody's watching me. Welcome. Let's see. That's just me. Anyways, anywho's. So if you look up here, you see this is my banner, and here's my avatar here. And you can see here, there is a little icon here that says free Facebook training. So when you click on this, it goes to a capture page about Facebook marketing. And if you're interested in all this stuff, you could put in your information and you get that, that information. You can also see here, you can go to my Google+. There's a little Google+ icon. When you click on that, it goes to my Google+ page, okay? You see this little Facebook icon, click on that, and we go to my Facebook page here. Let me just close these so I don't get distracted. And then if you go here, finally, this is my Twitter feed, little Twitter bird there, tweet, 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 and it goes to my Twitter page right over here, okay? So how do you do that? Isn't that pretty cool? How in the world do you do that? Okay, this is how you do that. We're on my channel, Meena Palakivai. We go to the About right here. And here it goes. Here I have my little bit of my about of what it is, who am I. And here we go, here where it says all this stuff here. You're going to click on this little pencil here. And there you go. Here are custom links. And so what I did was I put in a capture page about some free training on Facebook, and I just grabbed the link. This is a platform that I use to grow my business online. We offer free training, free marketing training, and show you how you can generate leads, and you can even sell products for 100% profit. And so this is one of the capture pages for free training that we offer on Facebook. It's an amazing community. And if you want to know more about it, I'll leave more information in the description bar below. Here's my Facebook. I just grabbed the link of my Facebook fan page. Let me show you that. If you go to Facebook here, and I go into my fan page, this is my fan page right over here. So I just grabbed the link here. I grab this. I take out of this link here, I take out this question mark ref here, and I just copy this link, and I go into the About section, and I just paste it here. Here's my Twitter. Same thing, the Twitter, the link to my Twitter page, my SoundCloud, my blog, and let me show you, I'm going to add one more. I'm going to add my Instagram. So here's my Instagram, and I'm going to do my, so this is my Instagram right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. If you're on a Mac, I selected and I did a Command-C. If you're on a PC, you could just right-click and add copy. And so I'm going to click on this little button that says Add right there, and I'm going to say Instagram, my Instagram, and I'm going to put the little URL there, paste, and I'm going to click Done. There you go. So as you can see here, we have free Facebook, Twitter, my blog, Google+, Facebook, SoundCloud, and my Instagram. As you can see here, it's limited to how many icons are shown up here. But if people click on my About and they want to find out more about me, they can find all these things here. And when they click on my Instagram, then they get to my Instagram and can find more about what I do on Instagram. So that is the business sense moment of what you can do on YouTube. You can have captured pages and your social media platforms where people can connect with you more there. It's always good to have an introduction. And you can always also, here on your introduction to your YouTube channel, you can tell them more about what your channel is about. And as you can see here, I'm here to help entrepreneurs, people in the home-based business arena. A lot of stuff you will discover here is for network marketers, but a lot of the content here is applicable elsewhere too, okay? So there you go. That is what I am about. Let's go back to the Hangout here. So in summary, we spoke about writing notes of encouragement to people, the handwritten note. And imagine the potential this has for your business when you're working with clients or you're coaching people, and if you send them a handwritten note of encouragement, imagine the impact it will make on them in helping them grow into their own success. So I encourage you to try that, to think about how you can encourage people today and how you can send them a handwritten note. And of course, for the business sense moment, how you can add links and little icons to your YouTube channel so that people can find more about you, find out more about you, and visit your social media sites and your blog, etc. That is that quick tutorial there for the business sense moments. So here on this last day of 2014, I want to wish you an amazing day. I want to tell you to be safe on this. I know a lot of you are getting ready for the festivities. If you're going to Times Square, God bless you. Wow, that's quite an experience. Or if you're staying home, enjoy your New Year's Eve with family and loved ones. Be safe. And I will see you next year, tomorrow, on Rise and Shine, Ready or Not. Let's do this. Thanks for stopping by. Cheers.